Hello, I'm Garland Roden, and today I'm going to be talking to you about gun control. I'm going to start with painting a picture to get you in the mood and let you know a little bit of what's going on. You're sitting in your house on a cool fall night in October. The windows are up, the doors open, and the screens are in to keep unwanted guests out. You're watching your television and enjoying a movie. Suddenly, you hear a suspicious noise. You get up off your couch to investigate. When you get to the other room, you find a person standing in your home. What would you do? How will you protect yourself and the rest of your family and loved ones? What if the gun ban is in effect? Will you say, "Shoo fly, don't bother me," and see what happens? Or would you rather have a gun to protect yourself and your loved ones? The banning of guns is an ongoing issue that has been considered and debated in our nation. Today I'll explain to you the problems with gun control, some possible solutions for crime, and why it is important not to ban guns in America. First, banning guns will not fix the problem in America today. Prohibition didn't stop liquor use. The drug laws can't stop drug use and abuse. Making gun ownership illegal will not stop gun ownership. Banning guns will make guns more expensive and give organized crime a great opportunity to make profits in a new black market. Street violence will increase with new turf wars. Criminals will not give up their guns, but many law-abiding citizens will. This will leave them defenseless against criminals that are armed. Americans have the right to decide how to best protect themselves, their families, and their loved ones. Millions of Americans have guns in their homes and sleep more comfortably because of it. Studies show that where gun ownership is illegal, residential burglary is higher. A man with a gun in his home is no threat to you if you're not breaking into it. Next, there are other ways to decrease crime without banning guns. Let us put the responsibility where it belongs, on the owner or the person who's possessing the gun and the user of the gun. Rather than banning guns, the politicians and police should encourage gun ownership, as well as educating and training programs. A responsible, well-armed, and trained citizen is the best against domestic crime and the threat of foreign invasion. Let's look back to World War II, when after Japan bombed Pearl Harbor. Why didn't they continue to invade? Because they knew that majority of Americans had guns and would use them. If a person commits a crime with a gun, then impose several penalties for the injuries done, and then impose the severest penalties for the injuries done to the victim. Statistics show that guns help, but authorities need to step it up. 60% of convicted felons admitted that they avoided committing crimes when they knew the victim was armed. 40% of convicted felons admitted that they avoided committing crimes when they thought the victim might be armed. Most gun crimes are gang-related, and such are big city issues. In fact, if mayors in large cities were more diligent about controlling gang welfare, state and nationwide gun violence rates would fall dramatically. Last, banning guns violate our civil rights. The Second Amendment is one of the most important rights set forth by the Bill of Rights. The operative text states that the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. The Second Amendment does not read, the rights of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed except when it comes to dangerous or unusual weapons, automatic weapons, weapons not envisioned at the time the Second Amendment was written, national security, emergencies, reasonable regulations, or extenuating circumstances. Hopefully, I have explained to you the problems with gun control, some possible solutions for crime, and why it is important not to ban guns in America. The banning of guns is an issue that has been considered and debated in our nation. Yes, guns are dangerous, but danger is part of life. Rather than taking guns away from law-abiding citizens and making them victims of crimes, guns should be allowed for self-defense as well as sporting purposes. That way we will all be safer. Remember, a gun is an inanimate object. It cannot think or act by itself. It's only when a criminal or an immoral person decides to use a gun unlawfully does it become dangerous. So, that is why I say don't ban guns, but impose faster and harsher penalties for criminals who use guns. Thank you, and I'm Garland Rudin.